Okay, that looks good, guys. Let me actually do it in full screen. Hey there, everyone. So, Moonshot AI has released Kimi K2, an open agentic intelligence. It is their latest mixture of experts model with 32 billion active parameters and 1 trillion total parameters. If you look at the API pricing, it is 50 cents per million input tokens with cache hit and 60 cents per million input tokens cache miss. So, cache hit and cache miss can be understood like contact caching, and the output is $2.50 per million output tokens. That is a very competitive pricing, guys, given the buzz around this model. I mean, people are going crazy about this model, guys. People are saying that they one-shotted a Minecraft game for the web that took 4 days and 6 attempts to run with Gemini 2.5 Pro. And you can see some people are saying that they have built 3D simulation using Kimi K2. So the buzz around this model is absolutely insane, guys. If you look at more information, you can see that it has 384 experts and 128k context length. So how does it perform? So that is what we'll be testing it today. We'll be doing reasoning, max, coding, agentic coding. We'll be doing a thorough testing, guys, how this model performs. So without further ado, let's get started. So we'll start with the reasoning section. You can see we are comparing 10 AI models, guys. All of these are, brothers of Kimi 2 because all are pre-trained non-thinking models. So let's start with it. The first thing is the water tank question. So let me show you the question on my website if you go out to reasoning problems. So this is the question, guys. You can see and test it out if you want. So in this particular question, you can see the highest score is 10 on 10 from GPT 4.1. Let's see what Kimi scores. So Kimi scores just 2 out of 10, guys. That is not a very good start. Let's move on to the next question, that is the letters problem. Let me show you this question. So this is the one, you can have a look at it. So this does require some good reasoning, especially when we talk about non-thinking models. Here as well, you can see the highest score is 8 out of 10, and that is scored by Gemini 2.5 Flash and DeepSeek version 3.1. That is DeepSeek v30324. What about Kimi? Kimi scores just 4 out of 10, and again you see it is not scoring that good. But let's move on. Next is the connect the dots question. So this is the third question that you see over here. You have to connect the dots, understand this pattern and find out the underlying word, that is artificial. So in this particular question, you can see the highest score is from Cod for Opus, scoring a 10 out of 10, and GPT 4.1 also scoring a 10 out of 10. What about Kimi? Kimi scores a 9 out of 10, and now you see Kimi is making a comeback. That is nice to see. The next is a grids question. Even this one is hard, and actually this was originally designed for reasoning models, but even non-reasoning models are now getting it right. So you can see this is the question. There is a 3x3 grid. You have to understand 2 examples, and with that find out the final output grid. So here you can see the highest score is 9 out of 10 from Quen 3, 235B, A22B and GPT 4.1 again. What about Kimi? Kimi scores just 5 out of 10. Not that great. By the way, guys, you do see that GPT 4.1 is standing strong. Next is the seating arrangement question. So this is a reasoning question, and almost all of the AI models are not able to get this right. There are very few models who are able to get this right. So non-thinking models will not be able to get it right, and you can see even Kimi gets 0, just like its brothers. So let's move on to the next question, that is 64 tennis player question. Let me actually show you the question. You can see this is the question. There are 64 players who are playing a knockout tennis tournament, and there are various levels to it, first round, second round, third round, quarterfinals, finals and everything. So what they have to find is if 23 and 46 are able to play with each other, so will 9 play with 13, 6 with 18, 5 with 51, 17 with 15, so on and so forth. That is the question. If you look at the scores, you can see the highest is just 3 out of 10 from DeepSeek v30324 and Claude 4 Sonnet. So the models are actually not performing very good at it, and this is where you start to see the distinction between non-thinking and thinking models. How much does Kimi score? Kimi scores just a 1 out of 10. Not that great. So now let's look at the total score. So the total score for Kimi is 21 out of 60. If you sort the score by rank, we can see the first rank is GPT 4.1 with a score of 32 out of 60, followed by Gemini 2.5 Flash, and then Quen 3, 235B, A22B, and finally we see Claude 4 Opus and all other models. The thing to note is DeepSeek version 3.1 is actually higher in rank compared to Kimi K2, which comes at 8th rank. So when it comes to pure reasoning, it seems that DeepSeek version 3.1 is better than Kimi K2. And also, I did the testing on the ArcAGI public dataset, and even there DeepSeek version 3.1 was ahead of Kimi K2. So pure reasoning, I think DeepSeek v30324 is a better choice, and you can see all other flagship models are also ahead of it. What about Max? Let's head over to the Max section. So on my website, I go to max problems. You can see the questions. So this is the first question, guys. You can see the highest scoring models are GPT 4.1 mini with 10, and there is no other model which has scored 10. Let's see what Kimi 2 has done. So Kimi 2 scores a 7 out of 10. So let's move on to the next question. This is an earnings problem question. This was originally designed for reasoning models, but even non-reasoning models are getting this right at least sometimes. So you can see, since this is a hard question, the highest score that we see is from DeepSeek Prover V2. You know, DeepSeek Prover is fine-tuned for Mac, so its performance is going to be good. What about Kimi? Kimi scores a 0 out of 10, which is actually the case for most of the models over here. Most of them are getting a 0. Next question is the shaded circle. Let me show you the question. You can see this is the question and the answer is 19.55%. So let's see. The highest score that we see is from again GPT 4.1 mini and Gemini 2.5 Flash, DeepSeek Prover V2, and interestingly Llama 4 Maverick as well, guys. How much does Kimi score? Even Kimi scores a 10 out of 10, which means when we talk about the highest scorers, Kimi 2 also comes into that. Let's move on to the final question, that is hard geometry. You can see this is the question. The answer is 104. How do the models perform? So you can see the highest score that we have here is again from GPT 4.1 mini and Claude 4 Sonnet. GPT 4.1 mini is standing strong, guys. If you look at Kimi 2, Kimi 2 scores a 9 out of 10 as well. So even in this question, Kimi 2 is also an highest scorer. So if we now look at the total scores for Kimi, it is 26 out of 40. If you sort this by score, you can see the highest ranker is GPT 4.1 mini with 30 out of 40, followed by Gemini 2.5 Flash, Claude 4 Sonnet, and on the fourth place we have Kimi K2. So the performance in Max is comparatively better, where Kimi K2 was in 8th position in reasoning, but now it's in 4th position when it comes to Max. So it is a pretty good model, guys, but yeah, when it comes to reasoning and Max, it's not state of the art or anything like that. We have seen the comparisons, but the main buzz seems to be about the coding performance of this model. So let's get into the coding section and see how it performs. Okay everyone, so let's get into the coding section. On the extreme left we have the Kimi model, Kimi K2. I have selected K2 as you can see. On the middle we have DeepSeek V30324 on their very chat website, and towards my right I have Gemini 2.5 Pro. So now Gemini 2.5 Pro is a thinking model, but the reason I've picked it because many of you guys will want Gemini 2.5 Pro, and one more reason is these three are the one of the best you can get absolutely for free, right? If you want to do any stuff, especially coding and using the chat interface, these are some of the best options that you have. The other one is Quen, I guess, but I have not selected Quen in this video, but we have these three. DeepSeek V30324 is a head-on competition because it is a pre-trained free model and we have to see how it compares. So that is the reason DeepSeek is here, and Gemini 2.5 Pro is a favorite among many of you guys, and you would like a comparison with Kimi, as I said. So without doing any kind of rambling, let's get into the main stuff. So as you know, the first question is, can you draw a dragon in a web page using HTML, CSS and JS? Show side view of the dragon and give your best implementation in one single code. Let's send this to all three models. Let's see what they come up with. Okay everyone, we have got the responses from all three models. So let's start with Gemini 2.5 Pro, okay? The big guy in the room. Let's copy the code, open up HTML viewer, let's paste that and let's preview it. Okay, so this is what it has come up with, guys. It does look like an animal. It has a tail, legs and everything, but it's not that good, guys. I mean, the latest Gemini 2.5 Pro general ability version, I think it's not that good. It's kind of okay. Let's keep that aside and move on to DeepSeek V30324. We can directly hit run on their website and okay, we have something. It looks more like a pig. It has eyes as well, and I think it's kind of breathing fire, and we have the legs as well. This is the tail, the wings, and I don't know what this is. Yeah, it is looking like some kind of an animal, but not that great. Let's move on to the talk of the town, Kimi K2. Let's preview it. Okay, that looks good, guys. Let me actually do it in full screen. Okay guys, we are able to clearly understand the nose, I think, the eyes, this is the head, and this is meant to be the neck, the body, legs, and these are the wings, guys, which are flapping, and this is the tail. That is good, guys. Comparatively, I mean, out of the three, guys, this is clearly the best. Absolutely awesome. We also have a moon at the top. Everything is structured. We also have mountains in the bottom. Awesome, guys. This is a win for Kimi. I mean, imagine, guys, we have Gemini 2.5 Pro in the room, but still we have to give a win to a pre-trained model. Nice. Let's move on to the next question. Okay, everyone. So the next question is, build absolutely the best implementation of a Super Mario game in a web page without using any external assets and in one single code. Let's see, guys. Let's send this to all three models. I mean, Kimi is performing very nice, guys. I was not expecting that. Okay everyone, we have got the responses from all three models. Let's start off with Gemini 2.5 Pro. Let's open up an HTML viewer and let's paste that and let's preview it. Okay, Super JS Mario. Click to start. It also has the audio, guys. Do you hear that? We also have the enemies, but they are not moving. I think the screen is moving beyond the player actually. That is the reason the player has left back and the screen is moving front. Okay, this is what we have from Gemini. Let's keep that aside and move on to DeepSeek. So let's run this. Okay, Super Mario start game. Okay, this looks functional. We have the enemy as well. This one is actually stuck, but okay. So if we move forward, we also have a flag, and when we reach it, it says level complete. The flag also goes down, just like the original game. So yeah, it is basic, but it gets the work done. Let's move on to Kimi. Let's open up full screen and let's preview it. I'm excited, guys. Okay, R to restart. It looks kind of basic, guys. I mean, not that good. Let's see if you are able to jump. So you can see I'm actually trying to jump over this platform, but I'm not able to do so. Anyways, let's move ahead. Now you can see the player is moving faster than the screen. This is kind of opposite what happened to Gemini 2.5 Pro. The screen was moving faster than the Mario. Here the opposite is true. So both were not able to give us a very good response, guys. Whereas DeepSeek V30324 was able to give us a good response. So I would like to give this win to DeepSeek V30324. Let's move on to the next one. So the next question is create a JavaScript animation of falling letters. So let's see what they come up with. Okay everyone, we have got the responses from all three models. Let's start off with Gemini 2.5 Pro. Let's copy the code, open up HTML over and paste that. Okay, so we do see a ball and letters falling, guys. Absolutely awesome. The whole code is smooth. The letters are falling over, tumbling, rotating, all of that is happening. Also, they are of different sizes. This is what we expect from a flagship model. So let's keep this aside and let's move on to DeepSeek. Let's run this. And okay, we have a ball and the letters are falling very fast, guys. I think they are falling one by one. It's hard to catch them. Okay, so it's not as good as Gemini 2.5 Pro, but it gets the work done, guys. So let's keep it aside and let's move on to Kimi. Let's preview this. Okay, it looks absolutely awesome, guys. The ball is moving, but it's very smooth and very slow. We have FPS and lots of other stuff. We also have a counter for how many letters are there. The letters are rotating and all of that is happening, and you can see the letters at the bottom. Something is happening to them. It feels like something is coming out of it. So clearly the model is trying to do a lot which it is not asked to. I think the slow movement is a stylistic choice that it has come up with, but comparatively, guys, I think Gemini is way smoother and it gets the work done what we asked for, and I think Kimi is kind of overdoing it. I will give this win to Gemini 2.5 Pro, guys, because it should be smooth and stuff like that. I think Kimi is kind of doing much more than what is asked for. But from this, I think we can kind of assume that this model will be very good in aesthetics and design. That is where it is inclined to, I guess. Anyways, this is a bit early to say. We are going on with our tests. Let's continue with it. Okay, the front end design of Kimi is nice, but now we are moving on to Python and let's see how it performs. So you can see this is a question based on Python. It has to code a circle which has two balls inside it, and whenever a ball exits, two new balls appear. So it also has to get the collision with the wall and between the balls, all of that, right? So let's see. Let's run this in on three models. Okay everyone, we have got the responses. So let's start off with Gemini 2.5 Pro. Let's copy the code, let's paste that and let's run it. Okay, we do see a black screen, guys. That is an error. That didn't run. Okay, let's move on to DeepSeek. Let's copy the code, let's paste that and let's run it. Okay, we do see balls and I think we are not able to see the boundary, guys. Clearly we don't see a boundary. So it's kind of a working code, but not exactly. The physics and everything is nice. Hitting the wall, the balls hitting against each other and everything. We also have a count of number of balls, but not a very good implementation. Let's see what Kimi has come up with. Let's copy the code, let's paste that and let's run it. Okay, it seems to be good, guys. These kind of responses is usually what we see from Claude models. So we have an opening. Let's see what happens when a ball moves towards the opening. Now you can see the ball is moving towards the opening, and okay, we have another ball. So the important thing is that the opening which is mentioned is as same as the real opening. In some of the responses you can see the opening will be mentioned here, but the actual opening will be in the opposite direction or somewhere else. That is not the case here. It is exactly what we asked for. It is a working code, guys, and I have to say this again, Kimi got it right. In a Python backend type of question, guys, it got it right. This is no doubt a win for Kimi, guys. Absolutely awesome. Let's move on to the next question, guys. Design a Python program that simulates Earth rotation. Let's see what they come up with. Okay, everyone, we have got the responses from all three models. Let's start off with Gemini 2.5 Pro. Let's paste that and let's run it. And okay, we see a black screen. Now it's loading and okay. We do see something, guys. Something like water and land, I guess. We are able to zoom as well. It looks kind of basic, but it is something. We don't see any kind of error or, just a black screen. So what we'll do is we'll just mention that I'm saying it looks very basic and doesn't look like Earth. Please fix this and make it smooth. Let's send this and move on to DeepSeek. Let's copy the code. Let's paste that and okay, we do see 7 errors. Let's run this. Okay, it clearly says syntax error, guys. So syntax error is very bad thing to do. I mean, if you are having some issues with libraries or anything like that, that is kind of feasible, but syntax error is very bad. So let's just mention, please fix this and give your best implementation and complete updated code. Let's send this and let's move on to Kimi. Let's copy the code. Let's paste that and let's run it. Okay, again that didn't run. It says inappropriate device. So I think it is kind of an error that is not completely Kimi's fault. Anyways, we'll share the error and mention I am running this in Pacman in Mac OS. Please give me complete updated code that is your best implementation. Let's see, guys. So meanwhile, Gemini 2.5 Pro is done, guys. Let's copy the code and let's paste that and let's run it. Okay, so I don't know if it's actually better than the previous one. At least we do see some islands, I guys. This is islands according to me. Not a very good implementation, but it is something other than the two models, DeepSeek and Kimi. They actually gave us an error, whereas this is actually running. It's also a bit smoother than the previous one. We have to see other responses. If we don't get anything better than this, then we'll have to give a win to Gemini 2.5 Pro. So meanwhile, DeepSeek is done, guys. So let's copy the code, paste that, and again we get 7 errors. I mean, is this the new one? Yes, it is the new one, guys. It is the updated version, the one that we got after pasting the error, and still we are getting a syntax error. Why is that? Is the code not getting copied correctly or what? Let me actually copy this manually. Still we are getting the 7 errors, guys. So clearly it is a fail for DeepSeek. So let's wait for Kimi to complete. We have got the response, guys. So let's copy the code, paste that, and immediately we don't see any errors. Let's run this. Okay, broken pipe. So that didn't run, guys. So that is a win for Gemini 2.5 Pro because the other two were not even able to give us a working code. Now let's ask them to create state-of-the-art Pacman game in Python. Let's see what they do with this one. Okay, everyone, we have got the responses. Let's start off with Gemini 2.5 Pro. Let's copy it. Let's paste that. Immediately we don't see any kinds of errors or warnings. Let's run it. Okay, that tune was amazing. Let's hit space. So okay, it looks kind of good. Let's move. So I think when I moved it actually crashed. Let me try it again. It's space to start. Okay, so when I move it, it is getting crashed. So this is the error that we have got. Let's paste this error and let's just convey our issue. So this is what I am sending. I have pasted the error and I'm mentioning it works, but when I move it crashes. Also it looks kind of basic. Give me your best implementation. So having said that, let's move on to DeepSeek. Let's copy the code. Let's paste that. Okay, this time we have two errors, guys. Let's run it. And again a syntax error. I don't know what is happening with it. All backend questions are getting syntax error. So let's share this with DeepSeek and mention fix this error and give me complete corrected code. And let's move on to Kimi. Let's copy the code, let's paste that and let's run it. Okay, that didn't run. That is a fail. Let's copy the error, let's paste that and mention it to please fix it and give me complete corrected code. Let's see, guys. Okay, guys, we have got the responses and let's move on to Gemini 2.5 Pro first. So let's paste the code and let's run it. Okay, press any key to start. And that didn't run, guys. I think that is a fail. Yes, that is a fail, guys. Moving on to DeepSeek, guys, it has actually given us a partial code and if I'm being honest, I don't have any hopes because it might end up into a syntax error again. Let's move on to Kimi. Let's copy the code. Let's paste that and let's run it. Okay. So we are able to move, guys, but the down arrow is not working. So comparatively it is better, I would say, but it's not working, guys. So we have given them enough chances. I have to give this a fail to all three models. Let's move on to the next question. So the question is create the best implementation of the game Angry Birds in HTML, CSS and JS and in one single code. So let's see. This is a front end question, guys. Okay, everyone, we have got the responses from all three models. Let's start off with Gemini 2.5 Pro. So it is given as a very long code. Let's copy this and open up HTML viewer. Let's paste that and Okay, what is this, guys? I mean, what am I seeing? Where is the game, guys? That is a terrible response from Gemini 2.5 Pro. That is a clear fail. Let's move on to DeepSeek. We can directly run it. So let's run this and Angry Birds start game. Okay, so we have some blocks and birds just here and there, and okay, it is not a working code, guys. Let's keep this aside and let's move on to Kimi. Okay, Kimi has clouds moving. I think this is a pig and we have some kind of platform. Let's see if we are actually able to play. We do see the bird, guys, but I think we are not able to move it. So I think it is bad, guys. I mean, the response from Gemini 2.5 Pro is terrible. And again, if we compare between DeepSeek V3 and Kimi, I think again Kimi is slightly better, but what can I say? Wait, I think we have a bird here, guys. Okay. We have a bird in DeepSeek V3, guys. It is for some reason on the ground. Let's see if we are actually able to move it. Okay, we are able to move it, guys. Okay, so the response from DeepSeek V3 is at least working. So I think I will have to give a point to DeepSeek V3 0324. Gemini 2.5 Pro gave us a terrible response, guys. Let's move on to the next question. Okay, guys, so again a front end question. So here they have to actually build the best portfolio website that they can build. Let's see what they come up with. This I think should give us a very good idea of the front end aesthetics of this model. Okay everyone, we have got the responses from all three models, and let's see. Let's open up HTML viewer in for Gemini 2.5 Pro and let's paste that. Let's preview it. Okay, it says booting codecs, initializing kernel. So it's kind of loading an OS, guys, and have a look at it. Okay, that looks insane. So we have 4 icons already. We have a start button. Let's see if it works. So that doesn't work, guys. We have an avatar at the bottom. It says try resizing the windows from the bottom right corner. Yeah, we have to open one. So this is about me. You can see identity, your name. Hello, I am this and this is my identity and everything. Nice, guys. That is nice. Let's keep it open. Let's open projects, and okay, we also have a message at the bottom. It says open the projects application. Interesting choice. Okay, let's open up skills. We have 3 windows open. You can see, guys, at the bottom taskbar we can actually switch between these. So we can toggle them on and off. This is very good, guys. Let's keep this aside and let's move on to DeepSeek. Let's run this, and okay. Cosmic portfolio. We have an avatar here. It says hi there, I am your guide in this cosmic journey, but it is kind of hidden behind this text, guys. It says explore my work and okay, featured projects, get in touch, and it's kind of a generic page, guys, that we see in a portfolio website. Nothing special. Let's keep this like this and let's open up Kimi. Let's preview it. So initializing a neuroverse. Okay, Alex Chen, digital alchemist and creative developer. It says explore my universe. I do like this effect. Let's hit explore, and okay, neural network visualizer. It says contact portal. We can enter the name and everything. We also have a chat interface, I guess, but we are not able to type anything. So guys, frankly speaking, I think the best one was from Gemini 2.5 Pro. It actually came up with an OS, while the other two gave us a website. It could be a stylistic choice, guys. You might like anything from the other two, but I personally like Gemini 2.5 Pro. So with that being said, guys, let's move on to the final question. Okay, so in this particular question we are asking them to actually create a solar system web page. So this page is going to be very similar to the pages that you see in Apple websites, and I think things like that. It is going to have animations. Whenever you scroll, you see different animations slowly revealing each planet. So they have to come up with such kind of a web page. Let's see who does best. Let's send this to all three models. Okay everyone, we have got the responses. Let's start off with Gemini 2.5 Pro. Let's copy the code, paste that in an HTML online viewer, and let's preview it. Okay, the solar system. You can see the stars in the background and it all has a very good feel. Let's scroll. So slowly the sun is revealed. We don't have an image though. Moving on to Mercury, then Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. Okay, it was not able to fetch the images. Let's move on to DeepSeek. Let's run this. Okay, there is a big blob behind. We have a scroll to explore icon at the bottom, and we have information about Sun, then Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. Kind of okay. Let's look at Kimi. Let's preview this. Okay, so This is the sun. We don't see any kind of image yet. This is Mercury, Venus. There is not even a space for images, guys. If there is a space for an image and there is no image there, you should actually see something. But here there is nothing like that. I don't know if it actually implemented any kind of image or not. So we don't see any kind of images. So talking about the three, guys, clearly it is visible that Gemini 2.5 Pro is better at this. So I would give this as a win to Gemini 2.5 Pro. With that being said, guys, our testing is over. So, okay, guys, so we did a test of total 6 front-end questions, and out of that, Gemini 2.5 Pro was better in 3 of them. So it's a 3 out of 6 for Gemini 2.5 Pro. For DeepSeek V30324, it is 2 out of 6. So it was better in 2 questions. And for Kimi, again, it is 2 out of 6. So front-end, I would say Gemini 2.5 Pro is better overall, but I would say that when it comes to aesthetics, I think Kimi is very good, guys. We have seen in all over the test that Kimi was very good in aesthetics and design, especially in the falling letters. You saw that it came up with a lot of animations and stuff. Just try to be like that, but we didn't see any kind of benefit from it in the solar system question, where it could actually have given us a very good design. On the contrary, we actually saw a better response from Gemini 2.5 Pro. Talking about the backend, guys, we tested 3 questions and Gemini 2.5 Pro was better in 1 out of 3. So there is a 1 out of 3 for Gemini 2.5 Pro. It's a 0 out of 3 for DeepSeek V30324, and for Kimi again it's a 1 out of 3. So it's kind of a tie between Kimi and 2.5 Pro. But having said that, in Pacman we saw that Kimi actually was slightly better, although all were failed in that test. So if you talk about the total scores, that is 4 out of 9 for 2.5 Pro, 2 out of 9 for DeepSeek 0324, and Kimi K2 gets 3 out of 9. So you can see at the last place we have DeepSeek V30324 with 2 points, Kimi with 3 points, and 2.5 Pro with 4 points. So this surely means that Kimi is a very good model, guys. It's a pre-training model, and comparing it against a thinking model is actually kind of unfair to it. But we are comparing the best free model here. So 2.5 Pro is going to be good for you in most of the cases, guys. And as things increase, in complexity, 2.5 can start to become even better. Having said that, Kimi is clearly better than its head-to-head competitor DeepSeek V30324 in coding, whether it's front-end or back-end, and you can get stuff done with Kimi, guys. So this is the end of the coding section. So you saw the coding test. Kimi performed surprisingly well when it was even compared to a thinking model. I am going to try something new this time. We will be doing agentic coding with Kimi K2. Okay everyone, so let's actually try some agentic coding with this model, because according to the providers, this model is very good in agentic coding. So as you can see, I am using Root code and I have selected Moonshot AI Kimi K2 here. So what we are basically going to do is, you can see I have created a folder called test website Kimi. Here there are a lot of assets like images and a lot of data. All these images and data are related to educational consultancy. So I've collected these images and data, and this is a hypothetical scenario. The model has to build a website for educational consultancy which provides admissions to students in various colleges. So all the courses and all the images related to that courses, everything is present in this asset. So now Moonshot Kimi, what it has to do is, it has to use these assets and build the website. Okay everyone, so this is the prompt that we are sending. You are now building a website for an educational consultancy which provides admissions to students in various colleges for their interested course. All the course information and their respective assets, that is images, are present in the directory. Everything that is required is already there. Use every single one of them to build a multi-page production ready website that is professional and stunning and state of the art. Don't stop until you are done with it. So let's get started, guys. Let's see what it does. Okay, it's saying I'll build a professional, stunning and production ready educational consultancy website using all the available assets. Let me start by analyzing the existing data and creating a comprehensive plan. So it has come up with a to-do list. So all these are actually available in Roo code itself, but the models have to actually use those tools. They have to do tool calling, which is part of being agentic. So you can see it has come up with a to-do list. It says analyze existing data and structure and assets, design website architecture and page structure, create responsive HTML structure with modern design, and rest of the things. You can pause and have a look. So let's approve this. Now it's saying let me first analyze the existing data structure and then proceed with building the website. So it's analyzing all the details. It is going through the JSON files that are present, which includes course details, FAQ, questions, testimonials and other things. And now you can see it has actually given a green mark to the first one, that is analyze existing data structure and assets. Now it's going on to design website architecture and page structure. So we'll approve that. Now it's starting to create new files, guys. You can see the speed is very slow because from the provider only the tokens per second speed is low, so we can't do anything about it. Now you can see it is starting with coming up with the index.html, which is going to be the main page. Okay everyone, so it has written nearly 247 lines of code, guys. The main page, that is index.html, is this much. Now it's writing styles.css, which is going to give us a proper design and structure to the page. I have already mentioned in the prompt that it should be a multi-paged website, so it has to create other HTML pages as well. So let's see if it does that. Okay guys, it has written 687 lines of styles.css code. Now it's writing script.js. So let's see. Here in the taglines it is mentioning smooth scrolling, navbar scroll effect, load course data, display courses and stuff like that. So we are going to have subtle animations in it as well, it seems. I hope it goes with a multi-page data, because I think in the prompt we have clearly mentioned that. See, multi-paged production ready website. We are clearly hitting rate limits, guys, so people are actually using this model a lot. Okay, it is going to be a multi-page website because now it is writing courses.html page. Nice. Because we clearly mentioned in the prompt, didn't we? Now it's writing courses.js. Okay, it is saying everything is done and it says test all functionality and responsiveness. I don't know what it will test and how it will test it, but let's approve that. So it's writing a new file called sw.js. So I'm not aware of it. Let's see what it does. Now it's written a file called manifest.json. Okay, so now it's writing a readme.md file, explaining the whole directory and which thing is where. The thing that we are actually seeing is, we have a lot of images in the asset folder, and these images is related to the data that is present in course details.json. So in course details, if there is an course called aeronautical engineering, we have an image for that. So it has to map that image with that course. So we'll see if that happens. So it says everything in the to-do list is done. Okay guys, it is trying to do something, but it's getting cancelled every single time. So we'll manually stop it and just ask it to, open the website in a server. And I think it is done, guys, because it says task completed and all its to-do list was done. So we'll terminate and we'll just mention open the website in a server. Let's see, guys, how the website looks. Okay everyone, it says the website is running in a server, so it is running on localhost 8000. So let's see. Okay, EduConsult Pro. So it has used the number one image that was present in the assets folder and it is using that. Why choose EduConsult Pro? And we have these stuff over here. It says explore our course categories, medical courses, pharmacy courses and everything. And it was able to fetch images as well, guys. So law has the law image, management has the management one. For nursing, we have nursing, and yeah guys, it is nice. Let's open one of them. Let's open medical courses. Okay, the page is actually blank. There's nothing inside it. It says duration or 2 years, 3 years and everything, but nothing is visible, guys. So when I go to pharmacy courses, it says no courses found, but for others, even though it doesn't say no courses found, but nothing is visible. Even in engineering courses, it says no courses are found, but actually there are courses. You can see in engineering it says 18 courses available. So let's share this error. So we are mentioning in the website, when I go to courses, for example, if I click medical courses, the courses within are not visible, and it is true for all course categories. For example, in engineering courses, it says 18 courses, but I don't see anything inside. Please fix this error. So let's see if it's actually able to fix that. But yeah, I have to say that with initial impressions, it does look good, but yeah, it couldn't, map the courses that come within the course categories. So now it has come up with a new to-do list. Let's approve this. Okay, it says it has fixed things, guys. It says test the fix by visiting course categories. We'll approve this, but meanwhile we'll also go on to the website and see if it's actually fixed. So this is the medical course. Let's click that, and okay, we don't see anything, guys. I mean, no matter what I'm clicking, I don't see anything. So guys, even though it said that it has fixed the issue, but the issue still remains. It has not been fixed. So this model seems to be good, guys. There are some caveats to it. When things actually become difficult, it can be a bit hard for you to, go with this model. Okay guys, so I've selected Claude 4 Sonnet and I'm sending the same message that I said to Kimi. Let's see if it's actually able to fix this. And you can see guys, Claude 4 Sonnet is actually done, and let's actually see. So this is explore our course categories. If I click medical courses, you can see the courses are visible guys. So the Kimi K2 model is nice, but when it comes to agentic coding and stuff like that, Claude models are very good at it. But it's very nice to see an open source model being able to even do what it's able to do. And this really closes the gap between open source and closed source models. So guys, finally we have done all kinds of tests. It does seem that Kimi is more aligned towards coding and agentic performance rather than raw reasoning or max performance. So it is a pretty good model, but we saw that it was slightly behind than Gemini 2.5 Pro. And I also think that when the complexity increases, you might find that Gemini 2.5 Pro and other stronger models will be better than Kimi K2. Is that bad? Is Kimi K2 bad? No. You saw it is aesthetically stunning, and I think it comes very close to the Claude models when it comes to front-end aesthetics. Having said that, even if we talk about coding, is it the absolutely best model that we can use? No, because the Claude models, Claude 4 Sonnet or Claude 4 Opus, you saw they are phenomenal in coding. And even when we were testing Claude 4 Sonnet, you saw that it actually fixed an issue that Kimi K2 was not able to fix in just one shot. So it's not absolutely the best, but I can say that it is the best open source model that we have. Having said that guys, on my website, the best free pre-trained model currently is DeepSeek V30324. Will that change? Well, actually yes, because even though the performance in reasoning is slightly behind, but you can see that when it comes to max, it is ahead than DeepSeek V30324, and in coding as well, it is way ahead than DeepSeek V30324. So considering all those points, I would replace the best free pre-trained model to Kimi K2. So I hope you like the thorough analysis of this model in reasoning, max, coding and agentic coding. If you liked the effort, one thing you can do is hit the like button, subscribe to my channel and put the notification bell to all, because that really helps my channel and it means a lot to me. Thank you for that. With that being said guys, I'll catch you guys in the next one.